Hello, future educators, students, and teachers. Once again, I'm here, Dennis Apog, for the new updates in assessment of learning. Good day, everyone. Welcome to our subject, assessment of learning. For today's lesson, our topic is all about the revised version of Anderson and Krathwohl from the original version of Bloom's taxonomy in their version in 2001. Anderson and Krathwohl are the proponents of this revised taxonomy. These gentlemen are the primary authors of the revisions to what had become known as Bloom's taxonomy, an ordering of cognitive skills. When we say taxonomy, it's just only a word for classifications in terms of leveling. There are four categories of knowledge which differ from one another. The first is factual knowledge. Under basic information, this includes knowledge of terminology, knowledge of specific details and elements, and activities could be vocabulary terms, mathematical symbols, musical notation or alphabet, and components of the food pyramid, needs of congressional representatives, major battles of World War II. Conceptual knowledge is the relationships among pieces of larger structure that make them the function together. Under this one is the knowledge of classification and categories. This could be species of animals, different kinds of arguments, or geological era. Another one is knowledge of principles and generalizations. This includes types of conflict in literature, Newton's law of motion, and or principles of democracy. The last one is knowledge of theories, models, and structures. This could be the theory of evolution, economic theories, or the DNA models. Next up, under procedural knowledge, this is how to do something. We have here knowledge of subject-specific skills and algorithms. This includes procedure for solving quadratic equations, mixing colors for oil painting, and or serving a volleyball. Another one is knowledge of subject-specific techniques and methods. Activities could be the literary criticism, analysis of historical documents, and or mathematical problem-solving methods. The last one is knowledge of criteria for determining when to use appropriate procedures. This could be methods appropriate for different kinds of experiment, statistical analysis procedures used for different situations, syllabus guidelines for different genres of writing. The last category wherein it is on the top level is the metacognitive knowledge. This is the knowledge of thinking in general and your thinking in particular. First, we have strategic knowledge. These are ways of memorizing facts, reading comprehension, strategies, and methods of planning a website. Another one is knowledge about cognitive tasks, including appropriate contextual and conditional knowledge. Students, can manipulate and engage in different reading demands of textbooks and novels, thinking ahead when using an electronic database, differences between writing emails and writing business letters. The last one but not the least is the self-knowledge. A student could need for a diagram or chart to understand complex processes, better comprehension in quiet environments, need to discuss ideas with someone before writing an essay. I can relate this one. Yeah, whenever I have written activity, I want a quiet environment and I want to talk to someone that could listen if I am doing right. Here in the next table, the table of cognitive process across the knowledge dimensions. We can differentiate or segregate the activities depending on the level of the four categories of knowledge which the student needs as we assess them in our different lessons. We have here the knowledge dimensions, the factual, conceptual, procedural, and metacognitive. It depends to us, and we must assure that the activity is aligned with the levels in remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, or to create. So, what might be the activities we will have in our class? And what could be the competencies that the student could achieve? For such activities, we will do for them. These tables could answer for that question. Here, we have here the cognitive process as well as the examples of the activities that we might do to our class. And remembering, students produce the right information from memory. And other for that is the recognizing or recalling. The activity that we might conduct is identifying frogs in a diagram of different kinds of amphibian, or they could write the multiplication facts, or they will engage in answering a true or false question and or multiplication, as well as the multiple choice questions. Next, understanding. So, students make meaning from educational materials or from their experiences. Under this level are interpreting, exemplifying, classifying, and inferring. In here, the student could draw a diagram about the digestive system, label the numbers whether it is odd or even, or group animals into their native species. In continuation for understanding level, we have two other sub-levels. These are comparing and explaining. Students can explain that heart is like a pump, or they can describe how interest rates affect the economy. The next level is applying. Students in here can use a procedure. This include executing and implementing. The activity that we might conduct could be students can orally read a language, particularly foreign language, upon reading a passage. Under implementing, they can create a budget for a particular amount for things to spend. Next up, analyzing. Students can break a concept down into its parts and describe how the parts relate to the whole. This includes differentiating, organizing, and attributing. The activities we might give are the following. Draw a diagram showing the major and minor characters of a novel. Place the books in the library in two categories. Or they could determine characters' motivation in a novel or a short story. Next is evaluating. Students make judgments based on criteria and syllabus guidelines. This could be in a form of checking and critiquing. The activity might be given is that students listen to a political speech and make a list of any contradictions within the speech. Or they could judge how well a project meets the criteria of the rubric. The last one, which is in the top level or in the highest level of the revised taxonomy, is the creating. Student could put together pieces to form something new or recognize components of a new structure. Under this one are generating, planning, and producing. The activity that we might have to give for them in order to attempt the highest level, which is creating, could be come up with a hypothesis based on criteria. This could be the alternative hypothesis. Or make a storyboard for a multimedia presentation about insects. Or they can build a habitat for pigeons. Out from the suggested activities given, did you learn something? There are lots more in the tables, but we can add more so that the competencies in the taxonomy could be applied upon student learning needs in the teaching and learning process. As I mentioned earlier, these are the examples of the activity that the students could have and or what they can manipulate in terms of their assessments. First, we have here in remembering, the activity is answering a true or false and a multiple choice questions. Another one we have here under evaluating, where students could make judgments. The activity is listening a political speech and later make a list of any contradictions regarding with the speech, and they could present it in front of the class as in a form of oral arguments. The next one under creating level, which this could involve metacognition knowledge The activity could be making a storyboard presentation, a multimedia presentation of insects, or this could be in a form of building a habitat for pigeons. In this activity, students engage in how to create something wherein they could think what to think and do what they can in order to achieve and fulfill such activity. Hey guys, are you learning from the lesson? We learned from the given tables from the revised version of Anderson and Krathwohl that in order to achieve the target learning, we must have to observe and practice the higher level of knowledge categories than the lower one. For me as future educator, we must have to choose procedural knowledge or metacognitive knowledge for the students to generate their thinking on how to think and do their highest critical thinking and analyzation in doing such activities. To sum it up, this lesson gives us opportunity to determine and learn what methodologies we can use regarding our profession. With professionalism and dedication to our chosen vocation, we will achieve success towards students' learning needs, as well as their development. And for us teachers, this could be a motivational factor in promoting our noble profession. And that's all for today's lesson. See you in the next discussion, guys. Keep on subscribing. Thank you. God bless. Bye.